Oh yeah. Beats on Bites.
Hey guys, Kurt Wilson, Beats on Bites. Big treat today, having a conversation with my son, Nigel Wilson. Enjoy. A couple years back, Nigel put together a Christmas album using synthesizers. And it was reviewed in the New York Times, and it was voted one of the top 12 seasonal releases for, I think it was 2018, along with Wynton Marsalis, Miley Cyrus, Sean Lennon. Pretty highbrow stuff for a release that came out 2 weeks before, and to have that kind of release and that kind of review. Tell me, how did have yourself a Merry Little Synthmas? How did that come about?
First and foremost,
Yeah.
thank you for using the full title. I had been living at this house in Koreatown in LA with a bunch of musician buddies, and we'd had a couple different parties, some jams, some just parties, some birthday things. You know, we had a house in LA
With a bunch of musicians.
Use it while you can.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was fun as hell. We had like a Christmas holiday, winter holiday inclusive sort of party.
Yeah.
And a lot of the music that we put on was either, well, this isn't really thematically appropriate, or this is thematically appropriate and this is not the vibe for this party. And I really wanted, when it was kind of like my round to DJ, I really wanted some like wonky Wendy Carlos, like, you know, like some little like goofy but like endearing and sweet. And I couldn't find any of it. I could find a good amount of like EDM synth stuff and like chopped and screwed Christmas, but like no, it was all either very intense or very put on, in my opinion. And I was just so surprised that there wasn't just a little like wonky Christmas album that suit my taste.
Yeah.
And I realized I had to make it.
There you go.
Then I made it.
The mother of invention, right
Yeah,
there.
it was great, and it was really fun to do so.
How did you choose the songs?
I made a list of what was in the public domain, and I made a list of what wasn't, but I really liked, and I just had to take my lumps, and I can only have a few that aren't in the public domain, but they're the bangers.
Yeah.
And then a couple exceptions to the public domain that just really resonated with me in my childhood or in my artistic influences. Like, you know my mom. She
Met her.
she loves movies of an era. She loves those black and white films from like
40s, 50s.
Yeah, between the 30s and the 60s is what I
Yeah.
was gonna. So yeah. And that's where we get White Christmas. That's where we get Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I think that's where we get Silver Bells.
Probably. Yeah.
The Christmas time is here. Yeah. I really wanted to do that. And I really wanted to do that in a kind of somber way. I wanted it to be really... I wanted it to take the vibe of that Charlie Brown Christmas special and kind of remove the cartoon from it. I wanted it to be this kid with so much optimism and hope and sadness and this little thing that he believed in that couldn't do it. But people came together and helped him in a way where they weren't helping him. In a way where it was theirs and his. It was everyone's. And they made this dinky, crappy little dying tree strong and beautiful and alive in a way where it sounded like it meant to me when I was a child and couldn't really separate cartoons from people. When it was just like, that is a reality and that's dark and it's grim, but it's overcome. And it was wonderful to do that and to really make use of this negative space. I had MB Gordy playing drums on that. It's the only... Yeah, I know, he's killer. It's the only track with an acoustic instrument on it. in the album. And B. Gordy's drumming on that one song is the only acoustic instrument. And I think that's a big, important shift for that song. I think it hits the point home.
Mm-hmm. I will play that song for you.
But there are some of these non-public domain songs that I had to include, like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's just so sweet, just so wholesome, gotta have it. White Christmas, amazing, like chromatic ascent and descent melody.
Yeah.
When you actually listen to or learn how to play that melody, it's insane that someone wrote it in this specific way and it doesn't sound strange. Right. It just sounds beautiful and very normal. It's not normal. It's weird.
Really?
Because it's all just like ascending in half steps. It's odd.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm hearing it in my head right now. It is odd.
What's the Mariah Carey one that I can't remember? All I Want for Christmas Is You. That was a necessity. That was an absolute necessity.
Now, why?
Because Mariah Carey is an incredible singer.
Yes.
And I'm an incredible synth player. And I wanted to see...
What a combination.
I wanted to see just how close to her voice I could get the synth. This like monophonic, like 2 oscillator synthesizer. And I wanted to transcribe her crazy runs and just learn how she sings. And it was so fun to just figure out like how to play like Mariah Carey sings. Because it's work. Yeah. But it's like...
Interesting.
Satisfying.